Hi, my name is Trenton, and today I'm going to be showing you how to file a flight plan using ForeFlight and also get a weather briefing, and then just some additional features of ForeFlight itself. Alright, first of all, in order to file and brief with ForeFlight, we're going to go down here to the bottom menu items and hit File and Brief. And then at the top right, you can see where it says New Flight Plan. We're going to hit that to pull up a new flight plan page. Alright, this just brings up the standard flight plan that everybody's used to if you've been flying already, and we're just going to go through each item and enter the appropriate information for that. So first of all, we're just going to change that to a VFR flight. And next is the aircraft. You can see that it has pre-filled this with an airplane that is already loaded in this iPad in ForeFlight. If you want to add a different airplane, you just tap on it, and then the plus button in the top right corner of that box, you can add an airplane, putting in the type, what equipment it has, airspeed. You can fill out the entire thing for that airplane, so when you are getting ready to file a flight plan, if you select one, it will pre-fill the flight plan with the information that you have for that airplane. So the true airspeed is already filled in because that's what has been entered for 4642 Juliet. We're going to be going from Greenville downtown to Charleston. So for our departure airport, I'm going to tap that and enter KGMU for Greenville downtown. And then for the time, we'll just select 2 o'clock. Alright, and then you can also put the number of people on board. And then your route of flight, we're just going to be going direct, so I'm just going to leave that. That is the default for it. Our cruising altitude, since we're going VFR, I'm going to change that. We're going to 5,500. And then our time en route. Right now I'm just going to estimate for the time en route because I haven't actually gotten the briefing yet, so I don't know what the headwinds are and what our ground speed is actually going to be, but I can come back later after I've gotten the briefing and change that. Alright, fuel on board and remarks, those look good. And then for the destination, I said we're going to Charleston, so I'm going to enter that. And then as far as the remaining information here, the pilot information, we already have Cindy pre-filled in there, so I'm just going to leave that. Alright, next, to get your weather briefing then, just down here at the bottom, you can see the blue button that says brief. If you tap that, it will bring up the weather briefing information. And this information is connected with DUOT, so it is considered a legal weather briefing, and I will keep a record of it that you did get a weather briefing. Just wait a second here while it pulls up our information. There we go. Okay, you can see that there's lots of different categories here on the weather briefing. Some of them are bold, like the first two, and then the third one is not bolded. That just means that there is no information in that particular section. So there are a couple ways that you can go through these. You can either click on each one individually, or if you just want to click on the first one, you touch the first one, it will bring up your METAR and TAFs for your departure airport. And then after that, on the top right of the screen, there's a little arrow. You can just tap that and go through the rest of your standard weather briefing. And I'm just gonna tap through these here and just not read through them, but obviously if you were actually going on the flight, you would want to read through these thoroughly to make sure that you were aware of all the information pertaining to your flight. Alright, to get back then, after you've read through all of this information, to get back to the file and brief page, back here at the top left, you can see that it has your route there, KGMU to KCHS. If you just tap that, it will bring you back to the file and brief page. Alright, so you've gotten your standard weather briefing. Next thing that I'm going to show you is how to add a waypoint to your route. So along the bottom here of the menu items, if you just tap Maps, it will bring up a map showing your route of flight, and you can see that it has plotted a pink line going to Charleston. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the entire route, and you do that just by pinching the screen. Alright, so there's our route right there. If you want to add a waypoint along your route, So let's say that for some reason when we get near Columbia that we do actually want to land there, maybe there's bad weather in Charleston. It's very simple to add a waypoint. All you have to do is touch your route and drag it to where you want to go, and then there will be a box that will pop up bringing up some of the closest waypoints to where you released your pointer. So we're going to hit Columbia, and then it will add that waypoint. And then to do the reverse, to delete a waypoint, it's again very simple. All you do is touch a waypoint that you have on there, drag it off that point, and then at the top right of the box that comes up, you can either replace this or you can delete it. So I'm just going to delete it, and you can see that it will bring up your original route of flight. Another nice thing about ForeFlight is it does have radar on the map page here. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and show you some, since we don't have any weather in our area right now. Go up to the north a little bit. Okay, so if we go up here, you can see that there is some precipitation up there, and to show that in motion, down at the bottom left hand side there's a little play button. If you just touch that, once it loads, there we go, it will show the precipitation in motion, so you can see which direction it's going. Another thing that is very nice with ForeFlight is it will show you the fuel prices, and you can see that those are already brought up on here. But if you didn't have those brought up already, if you tap this arrow on the top left up here, it will bring up all different kinds of options for what you can have as an overlay on this map page. So you can see right now we have the VFR sectional, radar, TFRs, and fuel selected. So you can tap any one of these and it will overlay that on the map page where you're at. But anyway, as far as the fuel prices go, it's really nice to be able to see along your route of flight what fuel prices are, so you can choose what airport you want to land at to get the best deal. It will plot the lower fuel prices in green numbers, you can see like that one right there, and then the higher fuel prices in orange and red. You can see by Columbia there, it's a little bit higher price. Another thing that is nice about ForeFlight is it has a ruler that you can get on the map page. So again, let's say that you wanted to divert somewhere. All you need to do to figure out how far away an airport is from your current route of flight is just hold two fingers on the screen and it will bring up a ruler. And you can just adjust where your fingers are to make that ruler longer or shorter and put it over the waypoint that you want to fly to. And then if you release your fingers, you can see that it will show you a magnetic heading to get you to that waypoint. Will also show you distance and the amount of time that it will take you to get there, and that's assuming that you're going to be flying the same speed as the speed that you had filed in your flight plan. Alright, another thing that I want to show you is some of these menu items down here at the bottom of the map page. The one on the far left is the airport, and this is going to bring up, in this case it's going to bring up our airport that we're leaving from, so Greenville downtown. And you can see on the kind of the home page of the airport page, it's got all your frequencies, what the pattern altitude is, and then also up here in the right hand corner it will have your taxiway diagram. So that's very nice to have quick access to that. We'll show you all of your taxiways and runways. And also you can see this little blue dot that's right there. Our GPS location is georeferenced there, so it's going to show you your current position. Alright, I'm going to close out of that. You can see for Greenville Downtown Airport all of these different options here. You can get different frequencies. You can pull up the weather here, so even though we just got it from the briefing page, this is another place where you could get your weather. More runway information. Procedures, I'll just go to that one quickly here. This is where you would pull up your instrument approaches, departures and arrivals as well. So if you just hit the approach section, you can pull up any approach that you want, and that will pull that up. And again, you can see that our location is georeferenced right there. Alright, also NOTAMs you can pull up, different services that would be like lodging, restaurants, taxis, anything like that, which is really nice because you don't have to look that up on the internet, then you can just pull that up right here and it will give you the phone numbers for all those different businesses. And then finally, the airport facility directory. If you just tap that, it's going to bring up the airport facility directory page for this airport, so you don't have to flip through the book to find that, so that's really nice as well. Alright, a couple more items along the bottom of the page here. The map page, we were already at that one before, just showing our entire route of flight. The plates, that's going to be your instrument approach plates. So you can download these prior to going flying, because you have to download them when you have access to the internet, so you want to make sure that you do that beforehand. And then this is where the plates will show up. You can just tap on those and it will bring it up. Documents, this is basically just like what everybody's used to on a regular computer, the My Documents section. You can put any kind of documents that you want in here. You can see this one has different books on weather as well, so whatever you want to put in there you can. The imagery section, this is going to be all kinds of different imagery related to weather. So you can see right now we have prog chart selected, so if you just tap one of those, it's going to bring up the current prog chart. So you can see that. You can see it's got all different kinds of different images, airmets and sigmets, pyreps. It's got satellite, winds aloft, so lots of different charts you can pull up right there. Your file and brief, that's where we were at before. And then the last one down here is the scratch pad. This is just, if you want to make notes, you can put whatever you want on there as well. Okay, finally then, to actually file your flight plan, I'm going to go back to the file and brief page, and then in the top left corner I'm just going to go back to file and brief. Down here on the bottom right you can see the green button that says file. I'm not going to actually file it right now, but you would just tap that and it would file your flight plan for you.